Hey there, it's Joe with Sloppy Joe Shred Shack, and this is part 2 of looking at a Legator Ghost 7-string fan fret. Let's see what I personally think of this particular instrument. So this was my attempt at getting into 7-string again. I used to strictly only play 7 strings for a long time. I kind of wanted to go back, but if I wanted to go back, I wanted something a little bit weird. I wanted a headless, and I wanted a fan fret model. And this one happened to match my specs. Now this one has a ash body, it has a maple neck and a maple fretboard, and it looks like maybe 2 walnut stripes in the back. All in all, I would say that this is a great shell of a guitar. Now I picked this up off Legator for pretty cheap. I believe it must have been a B stock. By the way that it feels and plays, it plays like a B stock. It needs some serious work. Is it fun to play? Absolutely. It is the funnest guitar to play because I haven't had a low B string in a long time. Now, there are a lot of good things about this guitar. 1, like I was saying, it's super fun. 2, it's really even. It sits on my body extremely nice. It doesn't neck dive. You can see right here, I'm just holding it by the strap. It's not dipping down. It's not going backwards. It's just holding itself up. I like that. Now, those are pretty much the only good things about this guitar because the QC is terrifyingly bad. I'm sorry, Legator fans. This is fun. This is a great and fun guitar to play, but it is nowhere near where it should be for the price point. Now, luckily, I bought one that was on sale, so naturally, it has to be a B stock guitar. It has to be. If this was what they're putting out for their primary models, that is embarrassing, to say the least. I know that I'm going to get a lot of downvotes, and I know that I'm going to get some crabby people saying that their Legator was great, theirs wasn't a B stock, whatever. The problem that I had with it is when I bought it, it was labeled as on sale. It was not labeled as a B stock guitar. So I'm going to go through a litany of problems here that I found with it. 1, now I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this, but let's see if I can get it to zoom in on that right there. Now that 0 fret is larger than these frets. Now that's not a big deal. Typically you'd want your 0 fret to be closer in height to the normal frets of the guitar. What it causes is extremely high action that you can't replace, and you'd have to bring it to a guitar tech for them to shave that down a little bit or do a complete refret on the instrument. Problem number 2, the frets were not level whatsoever. They aren't. It's like I was saying, it's fun to play and I like it, and honestly I'm gonna keep the guitar mainly because I want to upgrade it and do different things to it because I want to get into 7-string fan fret stuff. It's a lot of fun. I miss 7 strings, and this feels good in essence. The ergonomics of this guitar are great, but like I was saying, the frets are not level. It was bad. I dropped the action as low as I could, and guys, as soon as I dropped the action, I just had so much fret buzz that it was kind of disgusting. And I like my action extremely low. Maybe I'm a little spoiled because I've been playing my Kiesel SCB for such a long time, and that is such a perfect instrument that when I picked this up, it felt like a Mexican Strat. And honestly, a Mexican Strat might technically play better than this. Is the action terrible? No. Is it up to my standards? Absolutely not. Another thing, there were a lot of rough frets. Not rough fret ends. The fret edges were really good. They were nice, and I wouldn't say they were the greatest fret ends that I've ever seen, but none of them were rough and none of them hurt my hand. But when I would bend strings, usually around the 15th or 16th fret, I'd get a really terrible scratching noise. So clearly they need to be leveled and polished now, which is something that you should not have to do if you're buying a brand new guitar. Well, brand new guitar in essence. Now, the pickups are absolute garbage. They are terrible. Now, I will be replacing those pickups with some Guitar Marie Fox bats at some point in the near future, but until then, I'm stuck with mud. There's no other way to put it. It sounds like mud. I'm just going to be using, I'm plugged straight into my Helix right now, and it's just, there's no clarity whatsoever. It just sounds like one big muddy mess. Now, where this guitar particularly excels is with distortion, because these are extremely high output pickups. I believe a 16K in the bridge and something else in the neck. Regardless, it's very, very, very aggressive. It's an aggressive sounding instrument, and that 27-inch scale on the low B string really tightens it up. Now, I did put new strings on this guitar. I put some D'Addario lights. I think it's like a 10 to 59 set. A 7-string set, obviously. Another thing is just the neck needs to be shimmed too. I dropped the action all the way down and I could not get this thing low enough. But when I dropped it down, I had the fret problem, so I had to raise everything back up, which made it, to me, feel more like a slide guitar. Now, is it playable? Yes. Is it difficult to play? Yes. At the end of the day, it is a fun guitar. Now, there's little things like right there. That shouldn't be. When you buy a guitar from the factory, I should not be getting that sound, that almost that. Right there. Like, why? That should not be happening. It's irritating at best. But like I was saying, I plan on doing a complete overhaul on the guitar. I've already had the guy that I trust most with instruments look at this thing, and we've already got a plan in place. We have to shave down this zero nut, level and polish the frets, shim the neck, and then I'm obviously choosing to replace the pickups. Obviously, I didn't expect these pickups to be any good, but I didn't expect them to be as bad as they are. But like I was saying, and I'll kind of show you guys right now, let's look here. We're gonna use a PT.2 model here, but it sounds so mean. It sounds really, really mean, and that's awesome. So when I heard that tone coming from some with terrible pickups like this, I knew that there was still a chance for this guitar. So that's why I'm going to be putting the work into it. Now, if you're looking for if you're going from 6-string to 7-string and you want to try a fan fret headless, it sounds weird, but I would recommend this. But be absolutely wary that you may or may not have problems when you receive the instrument. Now, the finish is good. There's a few little paint dings and stuff right here, right there. I mean, that's unacceptable at best. Like, why does that exist? That is obviously a huge paint flaw. I found a few really small dings. Now that I'm looking, yeah, there's one right here. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see it, but it's right there. I'm gonna see if I can get that to come in. It's somewhere in that area. Let's see if I get the light the right angle. But there are just little things that should have made it past QC. Another thing, you can see this pickup on this on this neck pickup here. That paper's literally hanging above the pickup. And why is it higher than the frickin' pickup? I don't understand that. It's just little tiny things that just kind of accumulated to one massive problem. Now, like I was saying, it's fun to play. I like it, and I'm keeping it, but I have to fix it so much to make it a gig-worthy guitar. Now, like I was saying, I don't want to offend anyone who's a huge Legator fan. You know, I took a huge chance with this, knowing that it was on sale and knowing the reputation that's going on online. It makes me sad that this could have been a great instrument, but instead it turned into an okay instrument. Would I buy one again? No, I would not buy one again, but I would be willing to keep this one. So I'd give it a 6 out of 10 at best. I think if we fix the problems and do the fret work, replace the pickups, shim the neck, probably replace the electronics, this could be an 8.5 or 9 out of 10 guitar. The wood itself is solid, and that is great, and it sounds okay. But there is a lot of room for improvement, and I was not particularly happy with the purchase, but at the same time, I still didn't have buyer's remorse, if that makes any sense. I knew that I was probably gonna end up dumping some money into this thing, so I accepted that before I actually made the purchase. So, Arnold Plays Guitar, that YouTube channel ripped apart a Legator. He is 300% correct. Arnold, I want to thank you, and by the way, good content. Guys, if people who have decent equipment review something and you don't like that review, no, okay, I take that back. When someone has a great knack for high quality equipment. Now, I'm not saying that I'm able to recognize the difference between good equipment and bad equipment, but if you don't like that opinion, don't get upset about it. Instead, what you should do is probably reassess what is good and what is bad, and try for yourself to figure out, oh, maybe I don't know what's good. Guys, there's always room for improvement no matter what you do in life. Guitar, you can never master it, but we can always be improving. And when we're able to understand that a logo doesn't mean that the quality is going to be good or bad, and we just test the instruments out for ourselves. When I tested this out and turned out to be terrible, and it just happened to coincide with all of the negative reviews that I've been hearing on the internet, I just ranted. But long story short, buy it, but be wary if you are looking to buy one. That's what I'm gonna say. It's an okay instrument at best. If you're gonna buy one, buyer beware. You're gonna be putting some work into it. If you get okay, terrible one, maybe you'll get a good one. I don't know. I can't speak for the good ones because I didn't get one. It's that simple. But anyways, if you like the channel, definitely click subscribe, smash that bell notification button, and follow me on Facebook. You can see it right there. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's sloppyjoes_shred check. Anyways, I'm Joe. This is a Legator Ghost 7-string headless. My entry into the headless 7-string world. Like I was saying, I'm gonna have to put some straight work into this, and it's a huge bummer that I have to do that. But I think that this could be a great instrument if you want to put the elbow grease into something that shouldn't have been so terrible right off the bat. Long story short, great shell of a guitar, but you're going to be doing some work if you want to keep it. All right, guys, later!